Our lead story is from Petawawa, where members of the 3rd Battalion, Royal Canadian Regiment, participated in a concentration of fire during exercise Ready Royal. Spending as much time as we do training is important, but if we don't shoot well at the firing range, we could be putting lives at risk. Sergeant Pierre Mignot was on location.
It's a battalion-level gun camp with ranges that are being run by the companies that range from individual live fire all the way up to section live fire, including ranges with simunition at the section level and a surgical shooting package. What this is for is workup training for our future deployment to Quantico, Virginia for an exercise in October, which will progress further on to platoon live fire attacks in an urban environment, which is why we're in urban environments now. Within the urban environment, what this allows us to teach the soldiers in our unit is skills that will be needed within an urban environment now, such as distinguishing between combatants and non-combatants. As we're progressing into the 3-block war, where we'll need to distinguish these things, and it's not just going out there and shooting everyone within your path. We actually have to distinguish between combatants, non-combatants, if there's a threat, if there's not a threat. And what this allows us to do is just simulate what people will be facing within a theater these days, the way that we're operating.
The attack was well done as assigned, and took out any enemies that came across. There was lots of moving targets. First aid, there was an explosion from an improvised explosive device, and my fire team partner went down with a leg wound. Another member of another fire team come up, and we both grabbed the casualty and dragged him out of the battlefield and in behind some cover, where I could assess the wound and apply a quick tourniquet around his leg to stop the bleeding from his leg.
I'm Section 2IC. I was in charge of the 2nd Assault Group, and if the section commander goes down, I'd take over the rest of the section. Momentum was good. We had always had one foot on the ground. I mean, we kept on cover and we kept moving. It's a good attack overall.
The attack wasn't that bad. Obviously, the reason why we use simulation is because it's a training aid and we can learn where we went wrong. One of the big disadvantages with the simulation was found with the headgear. All right, I know it's there for protection. However, it sort of screws you up with your communications and trying to identify your fire team partners and who's moving there and where. You see how realistic it is when troops are getting hit, and you can see with the paint splats on them, and especially when they take the clothing off afterwards and they got the welts and the bruises and the grazes and everything else. So it sort of opens your eyes a little bit more as to how many casualties you could actually take.
We're coming up through the village there, and I was on the side of the road. We were just starting to make more of an advance after we just came under contact, and a sniper came up from the top window, and he just shot down, just clipped me a couple times on the arm there, and not too bad, nothing really could have done, just kind of popped out of nowhere, but that's pretty much about all I could do.
With a training like Ready Royal, the shooting of the member of the 3 RCR will be more precise. I'm Sergeant Pierre Mignot, Army News, Petawawa.